full as I hell gear. When you see these sleeves, you know it's Crystal Beast talk time. The structure deck that's coming in August just revealed 1 spell and 2 Crystal Beast traps. And with the use of my Crystal Beast deck, I'm going to give you a little rundown of how you can use these cards. So, like, sub, and bell. And leave your thoughts of these 3 cards in the comment section below, along with other ways you can use these cards in your Crystal Beast deck come August. So, let's talk about these cards. And I'm going to talk about these cards in order of ascending. First, we have this wonderful looking trap. Crystal Beast cards have always had great looking art, folks. They have. This trap is called Crystal Grace. All 3 of the cards that I'm going to talk about have 2 effects, and the second effect on each of them is once per turn, where you banish these from the graveyard if you place Crystal Beast monsters in the back row. The first effect of Crystal Grace, as it is called, lets you special summon up to 2 Crystal Beasts from your back row, and you gain life equal to their original combined attack power. The once per turn effect, if you place Crystal Beasts in the back row, and this row, while this is in your graveyard, lets you banish it. Then you excavate the top card of your deck, and if it's a Crystal Beast monster, you can either add it to your hand or special summon it. Otherwise, you're sending it to the graveyard. Now, let's look at this card at face value here. We're going to look at Crystal Grace at face value. So, let me just take one of my traps that I run, and we're going to pretend that it's Crystal Grace. This card will work. Let's pretend that this Crystal Raigeki is Crystal Grace. Now, when you look at the first effect on paper, it reminds you of one other card in the deck. And that card in the deck is Crystal Promise. Let me just pull my Crystal Promise out really quickly. Here. Where is my Crystal Promise? Let me scoop through this one more time. Bond. Bridge. Another bridge. Where's my Crystal Promise? Are you serious? Anyway, let's move on. Oh, there's my Crystal Promise. Right? It seems Crystal Grace is like a Crystal Promise, right? It's like a Crystal Promise on paper. Only slower, because it's a trap. So the first effect, you know, it's too slow, right? And then the second effect, you'll probably need a brick in Foolish Burial Goods. So, how will we use this card on our turn? Since all of these cards revolve around the use of placing cards in our back row, one other crystal spell is viable to the combination, and that is our good friend Crystal Tree. To those of you who don't know Crystal Tree, it gets a counter if you place a Crystal Beast monster in the back row. You can then send this to the graveyard, and for each counter it has when sent to the graveyard, you place a Crystal Beast in your back row as a face-up continuous spell. So, let's use this on our turn. Let's say we're going to use this card, right? We're going to play Foolish Burial Goods. We're going to pitch Crystal Grace into the graveyard. Alright? Now we'll play Crystal Tree. So with our Crystal Tree active, we're going to summon Sapphire Pegasus. Sapphire Pegasus uses his effect to place a Crystal Beast in the back row. So we're going to place Sapphire Pegasus number 2 into the back row. Now that we've placed Pegasus number 2 in the back row, Tree gets a counter. We can then send the Tree to the graveyard and put another crystal beast in our back row. For example, we'll place cat. Now, because Crystal Tree and Sapphire Pegasus both placed a crystal in the back row, we can banish Grace from the graveyard and then excavate the top card of our deck. Now let's say we're just going to flip it just for fun and we see Cobalt Eagle. Now, you can either add your eagle to your hand or send it to the graveyard. But let's say the crystal beast that you excavate is none other than our friend Ruby Carbuncle. So what you'll do is you can special summon Ruby Carbuncle. And in the process of doing that, let's just move these over. We can special summon you and you. We'll go chain 2 Pegasus, chain 1 Carbuncle. And with that, we can pull something like Rainbow Dragon. And then you can summon Rainbow Dragon. Now, because we have this setup, this is a lot of damage on board. So let's link away 2 of these. Actually, let's keep you 2. We'll link these 2 away for Verte. We'll pay our 2 racks and we'll pitch Neos Fusion. Where's my Neos Fusion? Right there. We'll pitch our Neos Fusion. We'll send our Ultimate Crystal and Neos. And we've got Rainbow Neos. Now, we'll just tribute Verte off of Rainbow Neos. I am putting these in the wrong spot. Shuffle our opponent's monsters into the back row. And you now have lethal damage. And that's just one of the ways we can use Crystal Blessing on our second turn if we were to play this first. Now, the other way we can do this going first, well, the other way to use the second effect of Crystal Grace is on our opponent's turn, naturally. So, let's go back. We're going to play the tree. We're going to summon our Pegasus. We're going to summon our Pegasus boy. Boy, put number 2 right here. We got a counter. So if this is our bad draw, if this is all we have for our turn, it's a bad turn. We got a bad hand, but we're making the use of it, right? We can send this to the graveyard. We can pull out another crystal beast. Let's say we're going to add Ruby to our field, right? And we end our turn. Like I said, this isn't the best hand with Crystal Grace, and that's fine. It happens. Now, because we have 2 crystal beasts in our back row, on our opponent's turn, when the situation arises, we can flip up our Crystal Grace. We'll special summon these 2, right? We'll gain the life points from them. And after we've gained the life points from them, we'll chain 2 Pegasus. We'll chain 1 Carbuncle. Of course, we're going to put this out here. So, let's say we add this to our field. Then we'll special summon it. Now, on our opponent's when it comes to our turn, we'll draw for turn. We can link these 2 away for Verte And then where is my Verte? Well, you know the deal. Verte into Rainbow Neos, and then deal lethal. And those are some ways we can use this card. Use Crystal Grace. There's Verte. Now then, let's move on to the next card. Look at this wonderful thing. Let me just get the glare off of this and we'll show you. Yes, it is a counter trap card, and to Neshi's elation, this card is called Crystal Miracle. This is our Omni Negate, which destroys a crystal beast we control to negate a card. Now, when this card is in our graveyard and we stack our back row with crystal beasts, we banish it, and it's essentially Sapphire Pegasus, putting a crystal beast in our back row. That's pretty self-explanatory. So, let's say we have Pegasus out. Again, we're going to play our Pegasus. We're going to put the other Pegasus in the back row, because that's just the way we do it. Naturally, of course, after we have set the crystal tree, and we'll put the counter on the tree, we will set the miracle down. And that is our turn. So, our opponent makes their move. Whenever they breathe the wrong way, we'll hit the miracle, we'll blast our Pegasus to negate and destroy whatever card that happened, right? So if we haven't sent this to our grave, we've got that. Now, because a crystal beast was placed in our back row, we can add another one to our back row. Let's say we just add Cobalt Eagle. Now, if you want, you can put a counter on it. I personally wouldn't. So on your next turn, you can send this. You can get another crystal in your back row. Counter is a good negate and much needed for this deck, because let's be real, crystal beasts have needed negates for a long time. But now, everybody, I saved the best for last, and rightly so. Now, Crystal Grace, you can put however many copies of that. If you're not running Foolish Burial Goods, you probably won't play it. Crystal Miracle, you're going to put 2 spots ready for your deck. And then there's this beautiful normal spell with Cobalt Eagle on here as a symbol of the chicken dinner that you will be enjoying when you play this spell. This spell is called Crystal Protection. Again, 2 effects. The second is a once per turn. Remember when we were introduced to Rainbow Dragon Overdrive and we were shown Crystal Beast tokens? Well, this spell's first effect does just that. What we'll do is we'll use Crystal Protection and we'll destroy a crystal beast that we control. Naturally, of course, after the tree is active, right? We'll destroy this. After we've summoned, we'll get the Pegasus number 2 because we gotta do our steps, right? It's how the deck works. Boom, here. Now we'll play Crystal Protection. This will destroy our Pegasus and place a token on the field. The token will have the exact same stats as Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. Now, we've got 2 crystals placed in the back row. We've got 2 counters on this. So let's go with sending this to the graveyard. Now we have any 2. So you can place any 2 crystal beasts into your graveyard. So long as one of them is Ruby Carbuncle. Now to the second effect of Crystal Protection. Just like the previous 2 cards, when Crystal Beast monsters are placed in the back row, you can banish your Crystal Protection, and it special summons a Crystal Beast from the back row. So you can pull this out, and you have your 5 Crystal Beasts ready to go. Now, the reason why Crystal Protection is so good is because of Neos Fusion. And if you don't have Neos Fusion, now's the time to pick these up. As here's the thing. Crystal Protection plus a Neos Fusion plus a Sapphire Pegasus is essentially death to our opponents from above or below. Here's how we'll do the play. And we'll even use our tree. We'll place the tree. We'll summon the Pegasus. We'll pull out the other Pegasus. Put a fruit on the tree. We'll use Protection, blast this Pegasus, placing it in the back row. Get another fruit on the tree. Send this to the graveyard after we've summoned our token off of Crystal Protection. Remember, it's the exact strength as Sapphire Pegasus. We send tree to the back row, we get these 2 guys. Because we've placed Crystal Beasts in the back row, we'll banish Protection. Special summon you. You. Right? We don't do this just yet. Alright? So we're not going to do it just yet. You can, but that's assuming you have Verte Anaconda not banned. So let's say Verte's not banned. We get everybody out here. Right? We get everybody out here. We'll link these 2 away for Verte. We'll pay the 2 racks. We'll ditch Neos Fusion. We'll ditch Neos and Rainbow Dragon. And then we'll go into Rainbow Neos. And now we'll just tribute that. Bounce our opponent's field away, and we have lethal. Now, how would this work? Let's say Verte gets banned on the upcoming ban list. Right? We're going to go back to the play. We're going to go back to all this back row. Right? All of this is our back row. Here's what we'll do. We'll banish Rainbow Dragon. Right? We have Neos Fusion in our hand. We'll add Rainbow Dragon to hand. Then we'll special summon Amber Mammoth. Or I'll just special summon the Amethyst Cat for this. Now, we've got cards placed here. We'll banish and we'll special summon you. It's you. And then, with that, we'll add Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon to the back row. We'll special summon the other Pegasus because our 5 monster zones are filled up. Now, we'll banish this. Add Rainbow Dragon, of course, and do that. Then we'll go into Neos Fusion. Because we've gone into Neos Fusion, actually let me back that up real fast because I got ahead of myself. We got this in the back row. Let me back that up. We have you guys in the back. We'll banish this. We'll put this here. We'll add the Rainbow Dragon. We'll banish protection. Special summon all this madness. Now, because Vertanaconda is banned, we'll just play Neos Fusion in our hand. We'll pitch the Rainbow Dragon in our hand. We'll pitch the Neos from our deck. And we'll pull out Rainbow Neos. We'll use this effect. We'll tribute Ruby Carbuncle, shuffle the back row. Or, because you've placed crystals in your back row off of Pegasus, if you need to, sweep the back row by offering up a back row. Now you have these Pegasi. You have an imitation token that's as strong as Pegasus, and you've got this all coming at your opponent. The reason why I did Crystal Protection last is because you are going to want 3 copies of that in your deck. And if you have 3 copies of Neos Fusion, Pegasus, Neos Fusion, and Protection is a OTK, and your opponent is going to be on the other side of the table asking themselves, what the hell just happened? Like, sub, and bell. And stay tuned later on for this Crystal Beast deck profile. Leave your thoughts for these 3 cards coming in August in the comment section below, alongside hashtag Return of the Rainbow. Thank you so much for watching. But for now, I take my cards to the box because I'm done. Bye-bye, everybody. And prepare for the fall. This strategy is going to put Crystal Beasts, in my opinion, tier 2. And it's going to feel real sweet.